Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from this month's sponsor, Ethico.
If you're a compliance officer, middle managers are crucial in getting your programs from you to your frontline employees. But how do we activate those managers and get them on our side? Ethico's new Middle Manager Toolkit equips you with the skills needed to empower your managers, to promote a culture where ethical behavior thrives and employees feel empowered to speak up. Learn how to turn frontline managers into ethical leaders with our new white paper, Empowering Middle Managers as Ethics Champions. And did I mention you can get the whole toolkit for free? Head to ethico.com to download the full toolkit today.
If you're wondering about what you can do if you find yourself in an FCPA compliance action, check out the FCPA Survival Guide. It's my latest book. It's sponsored by Ethico, and in it, I take up and write the top 10 things you can do to reduce your overall fine and penalty if you find yourself in an FCPA enforcement action. So check out the FCPA Survival Guide. The Daily Compliance News for January 21, 2025, the Not Proper, Not Real Work edition. We begin with that story from the BBC, where the ex-boss of Asado, one Lord Rose, said that working from home is not doing proper work. Yes, if you're working from home, you're not working. It's not real work. You know, I've worked from home since 2010. Oops. What a jerk off. So these people really need to pull their head out. And indeed, they don't give a flying flip about what their employees are interested in. How do you like that for a leader? Next up from Financial Times, Apple now has been hit by the Belgian probe over blood minerals from the Congo. Lawyers for the DRC allege iPhones and other electronics use minerals supplied by armed groups behind atrocity. And Belgium has started a criminal probe into allegations that Apple has knowingly sourced blood minerals in what lawyers for the country call a massive laundering and greenwashing operation. So the DRC filed a complaint back in December that we talked about in Belgium and France against subsidiaries of Apple. Well, now they're going after Apple itself. Next up from the Gothamist, a first-time contributor to the Daily Compliance News, that to ensure compliance with trash laws, New York City is considering deploying drones. Sanitation departments has confirmed the agency is exploring how drones could bolster the enforcement of cleanliness rules, such as illegal dumping or setting trash out for pickup earlier than allowed. So yes, trash compliance, it's a real thing. And our final story comes to us from Forbes, which shows the inanity of the incoming Trump administration. It's as they have accused the FBI of corruption for shuttering a DEI office before his inauguration. I guess he wanted credit for it, or to somehow put pressure on the FBI. But in December, the FBI shut down its DEI office, and now Trump claims that was corruption, and the FBI is engaged in corruption. So I don't know how you can do more than Trump wants than to do what he wants. But then he says, no, you've engaged in corruption. Get ready. At the start of this podcast, the sponsor for the entire Compliance Podcast Network is Ethico. Well, Ethico has a great new offering this month for you, a toolkit for middle managers. This is something that you, as the compliance professional, can use to move your compliance program forward by giving middle managers the skills necessary to answer a call for speak up or when someone comes in their office and raises a concern. I can't think of a tool that will be more valuable for you in the current era of enforcement. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.